Hello. Today's April 4th, 2024. I do believe that yesterday I said yesterday was April 4th. How silly. I do find that, as I'm getting older, mind gets less sharp. Am I acting like an old head? Probably. Um, it's funny because I'll probably talk about it later, about unk status. But first, I want to talk about how America has a history problem. Now, let me explain. I've grown up on the East Coast where there's lots of historical places you can go to, whether they be sites of battles or buildings where documents were signed or anything really. In fact, in my hometown, one of the houses is a part of the Underground Railroad, or was a part of the Underground Railroad. That'd be pretty cool if it was still going. But I think, even though I live close to all this stuff, I still haven't been to Boston. And Boston's one place where a lot of American history went down. As well as I haven't been to Gettysburg. I haven't been down south to see any of the Revolutionary War stuff down there, or Civil War. And so, I think you could consider this anecdotal because obviously some people sort of make it a point to travel to historic places, which I kind of want to have an emphasis on this summer, depending on how my work-life balance is at the time. But I'm definitely going to go to Boston, if not more. And I've been lucky to see DC and see Philadelphia, but I think to apply this more broadly now, there are plenty of people my age, around my age, that just don't have historical knowledge of the country. Now, I think you can see this on two sides. On the right-leaning side, most people would say that that's a shame. And then on the left side, a lot of people would say that a lot of what is American history is bad. And I think both sides are right. Here I am trying to be a centrist in this particular video, I suppose. Definitely, I'm not trying to be partisan. There still might be some ideology going on here, but I suppose I just think that it's sad that we can't agree on something here when it comes to history. Now, how do I feel about certain monuments, flags, statues of people being put up or taken down? I don't know. I think I could land on either side on any given day. But I think from the left perspective, which I tend to fall on, from the left perspective, I think that even though the critiques of American history are very valid, there have been lots of dark moments in American history, especially pertaining to African Americans and Native Americans and women. So, three marginalized groups, as well as Asian Americans too, for that matter. I think the list could go on too, right? Like LGBT people. But I think that it's worth remembering these things and paying special attention to them, so that we don't make the same mistake. I know that this is probably very cliche in terms of what people say, but I think what's also worth remembering is that, and I don't know if any of y'all have seen memes like this on the internet, but there's memes where it's a Twitter post talking about, I don't know, how 17th century pottery was imperialist and colonialist. And then meanwhile, you go talk to someone in person and it's like, hey, what's up? How's it going, man? The weather's nice today. So when you take into consideration that, I think we become hypercharged politically. And while I get the concerns of certain historical sites that you could argue give rise to bad habits, to put it lightly, I still think that most people aren't going to fall into that trap, so to speak. Because, like, here's another thing. Even when it comes to just geography in America, I just now found out, I suppose, I just now was made aware of that Mount Albert is the tallest mountain in North America, and I just saw it with my own two eyes. Like, I think that in a lot of public schools, there's just not a whole lot of emphasis on the makeup of this country. Like, we teach American history, obviously, but we fly through it, and I really think that we should be careful and nuanced in how we tell history and education. Obviously, education itself is a much different topic than what I've been talking about here, but there is some overlap for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to know what any of y'all think. Might make some people mad, but that's okay. There's just such a rich history in this country, and while it has all of its flaws, I do maintain that we should be proud to live here. I know I've said it recently, but like, we're not living in South Sudan where it's genuinely terrible. And I know me, you look at me, and I'm a straight guy, and I'm not marginalized in many ways. When it comes to class, I am, but what I'm getting at is, I know that when I say it's okay to be proud to be an American, I say that from a point of privilege. That word is obviously used quite a bit, but at the same time, I think that even people like Martin Luther King were proud to be an American, where while it cost him his life, he had a platform that really did generate some positive change. That's just one example. So I think we can use history too as a way to fight sort of these structural problems. Obviously, the 1619 Project aims to do that, and it's been met with criticism, but it's just a perspective of history, and I think that's fine. Like, so don't tear down the Robert E. Lee statue. Use it from the 1619 Project lens. I don't know. Obviously, America's had never had a dictator, so like tearing down a statue of Stalin, for example, is much different. And so this is a uniquely American perspective, I suppose. But I'm probably just digging myself further into a hole. I don't know. One of my friends the one that I went to see in Colorado, we have lots of different views, and they asked me one time, do I consider myself a patriot? Obviously, nowadays, a patriot has lots of connotation depending on where you lean politically. Trump calls his followers patriots, so there's that. And I was like, I don't necessarily consider myself a patriot. Like, I'm not gonna be repping red, white, and blue outfits very often or whatnot. Or have a bumper sticker on my car, or whatever you want to say, but he said that he considered me a patriot just because I care about the country, and that's a way of looking at it that I guess I hadn't looked at it that way in a while. English. So yeah, like, I don't know, I suppose I'm hoping to mend some sort of massive divide within this country with this video, but obviously it can't be done in just one swing of the bat, so to speak. So yeah, let me know what you think. Now, for those who stick around for the journal part of the videos, today's been pretty basic. Cleaned some houses, went to the gym, did cardio, and now I'm about to have lunch. I don't know what the rest of the day holds for me. I may boulder, I may not. It's a bit nicer today than it has been. It's not raining. It drizzled for like a second, but yeah, I'm pretty tired. I don't know why. I've been playing Football Manager on my phone a lot. If you like soccer, the game is so worth it. It's so easy to get immersed into the game. But yeah, it's Thursday. Tomorrow's pretty light for me, so I get to enjoy a Friday, which is nice. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I hope you're doing all right. I'm doing fine. Peace and love.